I hadn't been back to my hometown in 10 years. Not because I was too busy, but because I didn't want to look back at the person I used to be there. My mom's voice on the phone shook something inside me. She said she was selling the house. The house where I grew up. The house I ran away from the moment I got my chance. That night, I sat in my apartment staring at the ceiling, and I realized something. If I didn't go back now, I'd never close the chapters I kept pretending didn't exist. So I packed a small bag and took the first morning bus. When I stepped off the bus, the air smelled exactly the same. Dust, cut grass, old asphalt after the morning drizzle. But the town felt frozen in time. Same gas station, same grocery store, even the same dent in the metal fence near the playground. I made it when I was 12. But the weirdest part wasn't the nostalgia, it was the stares. People looked at me longer than normal. Not in a friendly way, not hostile, more like they were remembering a story they weren't sure they should bring up. I checked into a small motel. Didn't want to stay in Mom's house the first night. Too many ghosts. In the evening, I walked by my old street. Same cracked sidewalks, same mailbox with my last name, Henderson, peeling off. And there she was, Mrs. Collins, our neighbor for as long as I could remember. She froze when she saw me. "My God, Tyler?" "No," I said. "It's me, Mark." Her face paled. "You came back? After everything?" I felt a cold rush down my spine. Everything what? She motioned me to sit next to her on the old wooden bench. "You remember Tyler, don't you?" she asked quietly. How could I not? Tyler Reed, my childhood friend. My shadow in some ways. Always a bit detached from the world. A kid with too many secrets for his age. "He disappeared the day you left," she said. And, well, people talked. My stomach twisted. Talked about what? She lowered her voice. "They thought you had something to do with it. Because of his father." I blinked. "His father? The man barely spoke to anyone." She continued. "A week after you left, the police arrested his father. Something about illegal storage, unsafe chemicals, dangerous materials in the garage. Nobody knew, not even Tyler." My heart pounded. I had zero idea about any of this. But Tyler, he thought you told the school principal about it. Because the day before you left, the principal called his father in. Tyler put the pieces together wrong. I felt sick. Mrs. Collins swallowed hard. Months later, when they finally found Tyler, he had a notebook with him. She paused. "Your last name was written inside. And under it, one word." I waited. She whispered, "Guilty." I felt like the ground was gone under my feet. "That's impossible. I didn't say a word about anything. I didn't even know what his dad was doing." "I know," she said, "but Tyler believed it. And sometimes that's enough to break a kid." I walked home in silence that night, every step heavier than the last. When I got to the house, Mom was waiting for me in the kitchen. She took out a dusty cardboard box. "This arrived a month after you left," she said softly. "No sender, no return address. I didn't know if you were ready to see it." Inside was a blue notebook. My hands trembled as I opened it. On the first page, "If you're reading this, I never hated you. I just didn't know how to ask for help." The notebook was filled with pages of pain. Tyler wrote about feeling invisible, about how his father frightened him, about how the house felt unsafe, about how I was the only person he trusted, and how he felt betrayed when the police came. He was wrong, but hurt people fill in their own blanks. There were entries about nights he slept outside just to avoid going home, about teachers ignoring signs, about trying to talk to the school counselor but losing courage. And the final entries were darker. If Mark ever reads this, tell him I'm sorry I blamed him. He was the only good thing in this place. Tyler. Mom finally said, "Mark, people never blamed you. They blamed themselves. The adults, the school, his father. But your name in his notebook? It scared them." I stared at the blue cover. 10 years of guilt I never knew I carried, now crashing onto me at once. That night I sat outside, looking at the street where we used to play. I felt older, heavier, but also strangely clearer than ever. I realized something that only adulthood teaches you. Sometimes you become part of someone else's tragedy without ever choosing to be. And sometimes the only thing you can do is finally stop running and face the ghosts you didn't know were yours.